How do you help your child understand and accept that they have ADHD? Well, I think first of all, as parents, you need to be able to understand and accept that your child has ADHD. And as a pediatrician in my rooms, I have a lot of difficulty even helping parents understand what is ADHD and helping them accept that there's a problem. But once that happens, how do you help children understand? How do you use analogies without overwhelming them, making them feel like they've got some disease? I've got a few little techniques that I use. And what I say to children is, are you able to get ready in the morning? Do you find that your mom and dad have to keep shouting at you? Do you have difficulty remembering things? Can you finish your work in class? Are you a little bit behind the rest of other children? And, a child said something quite amazingly to me today. And I asked them, is it difficult for you to get ready in the morning? And you know what they said? I've got to remember so many things. There's so many things that I've got to do just to get ready in the morning. And literally they said to me, I can only do one thing at a time. And, although they don't have an understanding what it is, because a lot of parents, a lot of doctors don't even know what it is. So what I try and explain to them is it's like trying to ride your bicycle down a steep hill without the brakes. And I ask them, would you ride your bicycle down a steep hill without your brakes? And of course they say no. And I say to them, when you're in your car with your parents, do you see sometimes bad drivers? Sometimes some taxis are bad drivers. And they say, yes, they are. And I say to them, what is the problem? Is it the car that's fault? Is the car's fault? Or is it the person who's driving? And they know it's the driver. And, if I said to them as well, you see a very fast car like Formula One, a sports car, and what happens if they had bad brakes? Or they had a driver that was such a young driver or not an experienced driver. What I do help them understand is that the problem is self-control. The problem is a braking system. They've got a powerful car. They've got a normal brain. They've got an intelligent, clever brain. They've got a brain that's got all the abilities. They're not stupid. They're not dwarf. They've got a brain that really is capable, but it can't drive itself. It needs brakes. It needs brake fluid. It needs something to help the brakes. And the brake fluid is often medication. Help them understand why they need medication, why they've got to take their medication, and why it helps the brake system. It helps them be a better driver. It helps them use their engine. I mean, if a powerful sports car is parked and there's no driver, the car doesn't get used. And I help them understand that they've got such a clever brain. They've got so much that they can do, but they need help with their brakes. And I think that helps use an analogy, helps children understand exactly what the problem is. And also, at school, I think, I ask them and tell them, when they're sitting in the classroom and they have to do a lot of work, they need their brains to be able to, like a computer, help them calculate things. I also help them understand that their brains are almost like a phone, a computer that needs to be updated. And their brain is just a little bit behind. So it's like having the cell phone without its latest updates. Needs a software update. And it's a good phone or it's a good computer, but maybe it's running Windows 7 instead of Windows 11 or Windows 12. And it needs a little bit of an update. That's more of an analogy for an older child. They sometimes get that the computer's good, but it needs a little software update. It needs some help. And that's what medication, help from their parents, behavior techniques, and that sort of helps them. So I thought that might be some of the ways that you could explain to your child that they have ADHD.